Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Infinity Battlescape livestream. We're going to be covering all the latest updates in Flavien's massive polish and optimization patch here. Been a couple months in the works, I guess a few months in the works now. I have Flavien Brebian on call with me here.
Yeah, hi everybody.
Hello, Flavien. And I am also streaming on, so if you're watching on YouTube, I'm streaming on Twitch and Steam as well. So it's on the Steam page. So you can check it out there. The game is currently on sale with a summer sale. I think it's 30%. Is that right, Flavien? Just confirm that with
yes.
you. 30% off.
Yep.
And this is, I guess, our first official real polish pass is a way to think of it. So we're gonna be looking at some.
Well, yes or no, because we've been polishing the game for years now.
I guess that's fair.
But this patch has been, we really focused, especially on polishing a bit everything we have. So it's going to be a patch where it's all over the place, to be honest. There are a lot of things, some related to the menu, the controls, some visuals, visual effects and so on, some about the gameplay, about the AI, a bit of everything.
Yeah, so I just need to, because I'm streaming on all three platforms, I seem to be having some kind of performance issue. I've done this before, but it appears to not be working, so I'm going to have to kill the Twitch stream, and if Steam isn't cooperating, I'll take that one out as well, and we'll just stick with YouTube. So I'm going to kill the Twitch stream. If you were watching on Twitch, sorry about that. We're going to be popping that one off here, so just kill that. Just having some bitrate issues, and I might need to update my settings here quickly. Sorry about this. There's always some sort of technical issue with this. So let's go to 10,000 for YouTube, see if that fixes it. Yeah, let me drop the YouTube link. Sorry, YouTube link, dropping it in the chat for Twitch. Doot, doot, doot. Boop, boop. There you go. And I'm still getting encoding lag. I don't know what's going on. It's peaking at 99%. I tested this earlier in the week. This should not be an issue. I don't know why. Okay, that should have fixed it right there. Video encode is now at 80%. Twitch just stopped broadcasting. Right? Okay. I'm not dropping frames anymore due to encoding lag. Good.
Okay.
I hope it stays that way. Sorry about that technical issue. Let's jump into the update. So one of the big things is UI improvement and polishing. There's still a lot to do, of course, as you know, Flavien, for sure.
Yeah.
But let's just kind of run through some of the basics first. So I guess the most obvious thing is the font and the tightness of everything on the UI has been improved. We have cleaner fonts, smaller sizes, more consistent sizes across all of the menus. So everything is a little bit cleaner, easier to read, improved readability and layout there.
Yeah, I mean, the layout is pretty much the same than before, but we updated the fonts. Everything is a bit thinner. We made some of the menus more coherent. A lot of it is subtle changes. So you may not notice every single little change.
Yeah, there's lots of minor, subtle improvements in the UI. Next thing with the UI is going into the options menu. You've got some updates for all of the settings and how the drop down, or at least the selection boxes work. They now have drop downs. So that's been implemented. You can still use the left and right.
Through drop downs. We also have updated the sliders as you may notice.
Yeah.
So now they show the current value on the left in a little box. And there is also a vertical ticker line on the slider, which shows the default value for the slider.
Yeah. So a little bit more intuitive than just the slider with nothing on it before and no indicator of the actual value. Should be a little easier when you're working with the settings now to remember what you had set up. But again, everything is all now in dropdowns. Easier to work with. This is a bit of a teaser here. There's gamma and color correction now that has been updated, and we'll get back to this in a minute, but the settings are here along with the camera settings right next to where the camera settings were. Same thing with the audio. We've got nice drop downs for everything. All the UI is much cleaner and easier to navigate. Improved readability. Let's just close that. Here we go. This is, Wabbajack 560. The game is currently in early access on Steam, and it's currently on sale at 30%. We've been in early access for a while, that's true. But we are now in our, I guess, final polishing phase. We're about to be. We've been, like you said, we've been polishing things for a while, but more recently, we're actually seeing a lot of the visual stuff and all the back-end stuff you've been working on coming to the fore here. Yep, same thing with controls. It'll be a lot easier to like set up all of your settings. You can actually see the values, see where the defaults are. And then, yeah, if you need to quickly scan through all of your ship input profiles, you don't need to click a bunch of times now. Improved usability on that front. All across this. Keybinds. Keybinds now have icons, thanks to the work of here Flavien. We got we got little mouse icon, we have key icons, and maybe explain why this was an issue and we wanted to add this.
Well, it's mostly an issue with controllers. We did a big revamp of the Xbox and the PlayStation controller. Everything now is functional, so you can play with a Xbox or a DualShock controller. Pretty much all the tutorials are working now, also with controllers. They have their dedicated icons in the keybind so that you can more easily see exactly, when there is a tip panel opening in game, you can more easily see like what is the key corresponding to what the action is. So yeah, we polished a bit all of that. We also fixed a bunch of pretty critical bugs actually in the key detection system. We had one major bug which was related to basically you see these key detection checkboxes, the filter checkboxes.
Yeah, I'm showing those.
Sometimes they were not properly synchronized with what the input mapper, which is the system which is key binding, associating the keys to the events. There was a bit of a desync between like the menu itself and what underlying, in the engine, the key system was doing. So that was fixed. And another big one is that sometimes the key detection was actually not working. So this happened actually when you had a device, in your profile. Let's say you had an Xbox controller, and you see that you have a list of assigned input device. And here you have to assign like your physical device to your profile. And there is a filtering system used internally which is doing it for you automatically based on the name. So like it knows that when it detects like an Xbox controller in the name, it will associate it to the Xbox controller input profile. Now, when it was done automatically by the engine, the key detection was broken. And you had to save the profile and to reload it for the key detection to work. So yeah, I mean, if you were a new player, between these two bugs, so the one with the devices which make the key detection not working the first time, on the potential desync between the checkboxes for the filters. Like that was a big headache to set up your keys. You had to close, to reopen, and to reclose, and to reopen again, and you had to struggle a little bit. So like all of that is polished now and should work a lot better, more intuitively.
Yeah, let me do one. Sorry, one more thing here. If you want to, I'm gonna get off the screen here. Maybe talk about some of the updates you had to the ship customization screen. I'm just gonna change my bitrate settings for the stream again here.
Yeah, so can you open the loadout menu?
Yep, I've got the ship loadout menu open. There it is, loadout menu. You want to see ship statistics. Is that correct?
Yep. You can also show the ships tab.
Okay, yep, showing that now. I've got you've got your attack, speed, and defense metrics displayed as a graphical display now.
Yeah, so we introduce this little spider chart. So it's doing an evaluation of everything on your ship. So the important part with this little chart, which personally I find very cool, is that it takes into account dynamically like everything you have set up on your loadout, which means that it's not just the raw stats of your ship, it's also like everything on your current loadout. So if you change your loadout, you mount or you unmount some weapons, you put some upgrades and so on, it will update this little chart in real time. So sometimes, you know, when there is a little mass change to your ship, obviously it's going to change the speed on the bottom left corner of the triangle. But the change can be very subtle, you know, by just a pixel or two. So sometimes very hard to see.
Let's see.
But sometimes, you know, let's say you mount or unmount, I don't know, a spinal cannon, for example, on the spinal cruiser. Now you will see a big difference, for example, in the attack number. So yeah, this allows you to compare a little bit the different ship classes on the loadouts a bit more like directly. You'll see at a glance instead of having to go over every single stat and to look at the numbers. We also have introduced on the, you see the left of the selected ship class, there is a little icon which allows you to browse the entire list of ship classes and loadouts. So it's a bit of a shortcut instead of having, you know, manually to go into the ship class and to select the loadout. And now you have everything in a single list if you want.
Yep, which is a nice little way, especially as you build a bunch of different loadouts.
Yeah, especially if you have custom loadouts. Yeah, if you have a lot of custom loadouts, that will be useful.
Yeah,
like you, for example.
Yeah, you have a few, I don't know. I tend to have a few for different use cases. I'll use a couple different types of bombers, depending on whether or not I'm battling in atmosphere or in space, because I have the coatings as well as different torpedo options. So instead of having to customize the ship every time, I can just quickly pop through to a different ship. The drop down is also on the loadouts here. You can see that like so. And this is the first time I'm seeing this implementation too. I have some thoughts in my head, some feedback. And speaking of feedback, we're still improving and polishing and listening to user feedback. If you have any comments on the current build, there is a Battlescape feedback channel in our Discord server. Hit that and let us know what you think. We also monitor the Steam community channel or the forums there. So if you have comments or you want to let us know about a bug or a problem you encounter, let us know there, and we'll try to address it and respond. If we don't respond, there's members of the community that usually will, but we try to be pretty proactive, especially on major issues or interesting ideas. Yeah, so feedback is good, especially after a patch like this. There's a fair number of little things that have been updated. I'm just seeing the clicking on the drop down, for instance, every time to switch is a little bit annoying compared to, like, it's a little bit more labor intensive if I wanted to cycle through them to compare. It'd be nice to have an option to cycle as well as the dropdown, just like the menus, in-game menus. But we also need a way to communicate that a dropdown exists. So that's something for further discussion, I think. Squads. Oh, there's that Q doing this display thing. Squad screen. No major updates here yet. I'll just make a squad. Usual stuff. Improvements to the font just across the board. Just make everything a little cleaner.
So one thing which is related a bit to the chat box.
Oh yeah.
You can now select text in the chat box and do copy paste, for example. Basically, all the Windows controls are working. So you can do Control C, Control V. You can even do an undo. You know, if you accidentally copy paste something, you can do Control Z. So all of that is functional now. I won't go into details, but you can also put images or icons into the chat itself, or change the font color, the font size, do a bunch of fancy things.
Yeah, so improving the chat.
And you can, highlight the text. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of. I did a little bit there. It's a little hard to read on the screen right now, but I did a little copy paste, did a little back, and so that's good. And I think you also added an option for the, what was it? The text delay. Chat box close chat automatically after each line. History duration
in the
can be adjusted.
general settings, there is a slider for that now.
Yeah, so there are a couple people that wanted the chat to stick around a little longer, so you can choose how long those messages stay visible for. Let's go like this, and let's see where the battle is going on right now. We have a land assault starting in 3 minutes and 31 seconds. That's perfect. We're going to be on defense at Exeter base. Let's go here. I'm going to set this as my grid reference just so we can get a better angle on it. All of this, all the star map UI is still to receive a nice visual polish pass, an update in the future here.
Yeah.
So Exeter base, things are about to go down here. So we want to show off some of the visual improvements now. We kind of covered, there are more things in the UI, like Flavien was saying earlier. There's a lot of stuff here. So check out the patch notes. I have a link to our forums where you can read the full notes there. Probably have that published on Steam a little bit later as well. And how is my encoding looking? How is the stream looking on YouTube right now?
Very bad.
Oh no, I just
dropping a lot of frames.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna change that back. It's just really I don't know why it's suddenly doing this, but I will fix this again. Let's just go to 11K. That should be better. Oh, sorry about that, everyone. That slideshow effect is irritating, and it's gonna mess up the recording as well, I think, which is really unfortunate because it's an encoding lag. It's not an upload thing. Let's try this again. I'm still. How am I still getting an encoding? Okay, well, let's on over at Exeter base. Okay, it's updated. Updating. Due to encoding lag, reset. I'm really sorry about this. This was supposed to be functional. Let's fly and okay again. Let's fix that. I don't have anything else on my machine that's running, so oh, you know what? Let me turn off my... Yes. Hang on. Let's turn this off. How do I turn this off? Sorry, just bear with me for a moment. Just a moment. Really sorry about this dead air happening. Why is it not running? Is that it? No, that's Discord. Come on. All right, well, had some technical issues a couple weeks ago that messed up my PC. Yeah, the stream was lagging. Are you guys still seeing that on YouTube? It shouldn't be anymore.
Seems to be slow.
Come on.
It's below 1 FPS.
Yeah, that should not be happening at all. This is really annoying. Yeah, my video encode on my GPU is like maxed out, and it shouldn't be. Okay, well, let's... I'm just gonna go interceptor and go... That's fine. Just double check and make sure my audio is good. Let's not crush everyone's ears. Okay, I'm just gonna float here for a second while I try to figure out why I am dropping massive amount of frames. This doesn't... Hey,
oh, you know what?
I just
realized.
It just refreshed. Hang on a second. It should pop in on the YouTube here in a second. I just saw a massive drop in my video encoding on the GPU. Okay, how's the frame rate? Are we seeing nice frames? The quality is going to be dropped a little bit. I had to drop my bitrate.
And, yeah, it seems to stabilize and to be good again, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, sorry about that. We're back. We're back, everyone. Good. I won't touch anything. I'll leave it like that. It's going to be... Okay,
I just
sorry,
realized there is an important thing I forgot to mention, which is not in the patch notes, actually.
Okay.
And I know we discussed in a meeting, but I completely forgot about putting it in the patch notes. The player names, the enemy player names, are no longer appearing when they are far away.
Okay.
I mean, floating on the HUD.
Yeah.
You can still select the players, right? But when they are, 20, 30 kilometers away or even more, you can't really see them anymore. And we also remove the option to make target, in the player list, for example. So you cannot select them from afar either. And we did this change because we didn't want new players to get hunted constantly by more veteran players. So now it gives an opportunity to new players to hide a little bit. So it's fine, if you encounter an enemy player, because the game is still PvP, of course. In the middle of a battle, that's totally fine. But we didn't like how sometimes the same player is getting hunted over and over.
Yeah, that was becoming an issue for a lot of people. There we go. Oh, jeez. There we go. Okay. Stream looks good. Thank you, everyone, for giving me feedback. Cockpit view mode. I'm using Track IR for head tracking. We have support for Toby as well. Just a question there in the chat. All right. Visual graphics updates. We are about to see some stuff here in the battle. Let's have a slow down and have a look. All right, that's already looking prettier. I have Battle-smog on screen. I'm seeing lots of lights and explosions. That looks nice. Let's just have a look at this for a second. So maybe you want to talk about what you did with the Battle-smog there, Flavien?
A lot of things. So before I start with the Battle-smog, we need to mention that we updated the HDR, the tone mapper of the HDR as well. So like, if you are not really technically minded, the HDR is standing for high dynamic range, is the way we map bright pixels onto the range your monitor can display. And we were using an old, pretty outdated tone mapper, and we replaced it with a more modern one. This in turn changed a little bit the way the colors are shown. So it had a bit of desaturation in the colors. And that's why we reintroduced new settings, which are exposed into the graphics menu. And these settings allow you to saturate the colors a bit more if you want. So yeah, you can change the tone mapper if you want on all the settings for the color saturation or desaturation. So like, if you desaturate completely, you can play in black and white now if you want.
Let's do that.
That's,
hang on, I just got blowed up.
ah.
Sorry.
Too bad.
Oh, Anthony Larson with a comment. Just saying that the sensor tactical screen transition speed seems to be backwards. 0.2 seconds seems to take 4 seconds. It might be backwards on the slider. Let me just respawn here real quick.
Yeah, we'll have to test. So thanks for the report.
Railgun, oh. That's fine. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, you can drop that as well in our feedback channel. We'll zip out here. Let's warp. Let's head up there. Get back up there again. Ooh, hello.
So yeah, we updated the tone mapper on the color graduation. One of the things which is really nice with the new HDR is that the darks are a bit brighter. And so when you fight in an area which is really dark, for example, in the shadow of a station or something, you will see the shapes. When there is no light at all, you will see everything a little bit more. Like not incredibly more, but a little bit more.
So Flavien, I was actually on Filmic before. Let me just switch this back here. I was on Filmic. Filmic, you can kind of see things are a little bit... you'll see the change. So there's a subtle change here.
Yeah, you need to go on AGX, yeah.
Yeah, and then I can also... I'm just going to leave the settings default except for saturation. Just to show that you can play the game in black and white. If you want to. I don't want to, so I'm going to switch that back. So there's saturation, contrast, and lift. You can kind of tweak around with some of those settings if you want to tweak it. But that right there, I'm now using the AGX tone mapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the new default. So everybody should be playing on AGX.
Yeah. So I think maybe it was because I already had some settings hold over, but I was on the Filmic setting there. Let's turn the game volume down a bit. Sorry about that. Audio is just going to crush everyone's ears. Turn the music off. And just make sure that my game audio here is good. That's a little better. Okay.
Warp charging.
Yeah, you can go full noir, all black and white, change the contrast to make it super moody. Be interesting for screenshots if you want to take some more artsy shots. Did you also mention the number of lights in this Battle-smog now has increased? Because you did a big pass on that, yeah.
So the smog, we did a lot of technical updates. First of all, we updated a bit the particle texture itself, especially the way it reacts to lighting is a lot more volumetric now. So it should look a lot nicer when there are big explosions, you know, mines exploding, ship exploding, and so on. there was a limit about the maximum amount of lights which was able to affect the smog before. I think it was 35 lights. We were able to, with a bit of technical magic, to split the smog into multiple areas, and so now each area can have up to 5 lights. So this allows us to have a lot more than 5 lights globally on the smog. Locally, like if you have more than 5 lights in the same area of the smog, you will still have the limit, same as before. But now the lights in one area of the smog will not affect like the lights in I don't know, 30 or 50 kilometers away, for example. Oh, we just died.
I did, yeah.
Let's spawn a cruiser and then go back to that battle. Looks like the battle is still ongoing for a little bit here. There's lots of little things that feel nice now. There's a nice bloom on, like the engines have a nicer bloom. A lot of the colors are a little bit less saturated, a little more muted. You still get a nice specular reflection on like the
Charging.
ceramic metal surfaces. Overall, it feels nicer. The planets look good. We're down on the surface a little bit there, but the visual updates really, I don't know. They do something that I like. Oh, it's on the other side. Other side of the planet. I gotta go to the other side of this moon. Yeah. Just open the tactical screen here. Tactical screen. The options are now in a settings gear. And I think the way this tactical screen zoom works has also been updated. I think it's been increased. So you can go way...
So for reference, I am in game in the battle right now. I am playing on my Xbox controller.
Oh, you're actually playing on the... Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
So that's why if someone kills me, I will have the excuse of not playing on the mouse and keyboard. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But like personally, I'm finding that the Xbox controller is lacking a bit more in accuracy compared to the PlayStation controller. Like I'm having more difficulty to hit like a really fine, following the aim of the lead indicator is much harder on the Xbox controller compared to the PlayStation one.
Right. And now you're playing as an interceptor though, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, I am an interceptor, yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious to know if you'd be able to play a capital ship with the controller like that. Probably.
Oh, you can.
Probably, yeah. I think with the radio menus we have in place, it probably makes it pretty user-friendly.
Yeah, I mean, I updated the layout for all the controllers.
Yeah.
So it works now. One other thing I did is that you can navigate the menus with a controller or a joystick.
Oh, nice. Yes, that's...
So you have a virtual cursor. You can go on click, into the buttons. So you don't even need to teach your keyboard anymore to play.
Yeah. Got a question here in a YouTube channel or YouTube chat. Are there many planets to explore, or is it only a sci-fi battleship sim? The game focuses on combat. The current planetary system that we're in is a gas giant system with 2 moons and a... well, I guess it's a 3rd moon if you want to consider Gallia a moon. It technically is. It's not really... you could call it a moon. 3 orbiting bodies. And then around each of these bodies, there are currently multiple ground bases and space stations. Everything is a 1-to-1 scale, so there's no downscaling of anything here. And then in the Wreath Prime system, that is within this star system, which doesn't... I think it's probably just the Wreath system would be appropriate. Wreath Prime campaign. Wreath Prime being the gas giant in the system. It's a really, really simple kind of sandbox environment. So there's only the one gas giant system. We do have versions that have more planets, but there are some performance considerations, so we haven't released those things publicly. I don't know if I really should be talking about that.
No, it's okay. I mean, you can get a bigger system in the sandbox if you want.
Yeah, you can go into the sandbox, and that'll run a client on your local machine, and you'll be able to play with those larger systems. So yes, there's more you can explore. There's not exactly things to do on the surface or explore. You can find pretty visuals and take screenshots and explore kind of some of the features on the procedural terrain, but you're not going to have any features like base building or mining or anything quite like that in the game. The game is predominantly focused on combat with some limited support roles in the form of the support ship and the corvette. I'm just wrapping in here. There's a little bit of an RTS element if you play the carrier. There's a little bit of squad management stuff you can do with your squadrons. So launching squadrons and then managing their targets and then kind of managing your action and behavior in the battle. I'm going to drop in here carefully. There's not a lot of allies. I'm going to help out our fellow cruiser. Yeah, so next thing to look at here. So we've gone over kind of the UI updates. We've gone over some of the visual improvements with Battle-smog. Oh, there we go. What else do we have? The local tone mapping, some of the bloom tweaks, UI tweaks. Oh, it looks so much better. I love the Battle-smog. It added so much to the game when you first added it, and now that we're just tweaking it and improving it, it's just it lights up so much more now. Like there's like every little explosion is just adding to it. And if you're looking carefully, you can see the larger MK6 and MK7 weapons actually have lights on them, those projectiles. So when the projectile screams through the smog, you'll actually see the effect of which. So I'm going to start shooting, so you'll probably see those effects. And now it's probably a pretty good example of the attenuation you were talking about. Oh, it looks so good.
And you haven't seen yet, I suppose, spinal cruisers charging through the smog.
Oh yeah, we need to catch a glimpse of that if there's one of those here.
I got killed by the electrified. But I am on a controller, that's why.
Oh wow, this uh-oh. I'm in trouble.
Danger alert.
Oh, it didn't hit me. Did it?
Danger
Here it comes.
alert.
Beautiful. So, yeah, the Battle-smog is generated whenever weapons are firing, when ships explode. Those are kind of the two main ones. Yeah. Impacts. I think impacts also generate them.
So the Battle-smog is dynamic. It's generated when ships get damaged, when there are impacts, when there are missile explosions. So it really follows like the actual battle. It's not just a preset effect. It's, and that's why every battle will have different looking Battle-smog.
Enemy threat. Incoming.
Alright, I've got an escort here now. Destroyer escort is helping me out. That's good. And I don't think that's a human player.
Incoming torpedo.
Oh, hello. I'm losing weapon systems. Alright, so, bug fixes. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. What do you say are some of the biggest bug fixes? I know there were some performance bugs you found recently. You said...
yeah, there was one related to the network, which was consuming double bandwidth by accident. When you had something selected in a menu, basically. So it was doubling the bandwidth usage. So let me check the list.
Incoming torpedo.
Let's just turn that down a little bit. We're getting an
Incoming
awful
missile.
lot of kabooms.
Incoming torpedo.
see.
So in terms of bug fixes, there are a number of important bug fixes into the AI as well, but I guess we will mention that just afterwards. So there was one which was related to doing Alt-Enter to switch to full screen mode. So that was not working well. There is one which a lot of people had reported about the stations not repairing or resupplying at docks in a free flight sandbox mode. Not really a bug, but if you go into the tactical map,
I just died, so
on you.
give me a second.
Oh, okay.
Let me just, I'll just drop into a bomber. Let's grab my, that one. And take along, make sure I've got the right torpedoes. Hang on a second. I don't want to be completely useless. There we go. And make sure that I can actually spawn on the mission. We're losing, so I'll make sure that I actually spawn at the defense base here. Yeah, go ahead. So tactical.
So you open the tactical map. If you double click on an icon, it will now automatically center the tactical map and follow the ship on which you clicked.
Uh-oh.
So it's a lot easier, like if you are in a big battle and you open the tactical map and you want to observe a little bit like what another ship is doing, you can do that now. Previously, it was really hard because the tactical map was still centered on your ship. And so as your ship was moving, the tactical map was drifting along with it. But now you can center on any other ship if you want.
Oh, hang on a second here. For whatever reason, my keybinds aren't working for the bomber. Let me just switch the interceptor and see if it's an issue that... Okay. Yeah, no, my keybinds aren't working for my small ship. This might be a bug. Let me just go back to QWERTY Hutch, the default profile, save that. No. Hang on. Controls. Auto recenter mouse. That should be joystick, gamepad, HOTAS. So Flavien, I think there's a bug in the control scheme and keybind. So I have everything set up correctly here with the interceptor default control scheme. Ship input profile is set correctly for my thrustmaster setup. Oh, seems like toggling it and then toggling it back refreshed it. Okay, so let me just double check that with the bomber. Yeah, I might want to investigate that. That would be... I had a little bit of an issue switching between the capital ship gameplay and then back to the small ships. It seemed like it didn't want to reset properly for whatever reason. Okay, I'm going to deploy again. Let's pop in. Yep, there we go. I'm good. I don't know how the audio, game audio looks like it's still coming in pretty good. I'm not having any decoding issues, or encoding issues, which is nice. Okay. Yeah, so lots of bug fixes, lots of improvements, used lights around stations that weren't rendering properly. Was another one. That's not going to get there.
we did another thing. We had an issue with lag compensation. With let's say you were playing a Corvette with automated turrets, and you were sub-targeting hardpoint. Let's say on a destroyer, for example. The hit detection was not really functioning properly. It was not synced properly with lag compensation, basically. So now that should have been improved as well.
Incoming missile.
I think you're detecting or selecting the nearest threat has also been improved. Oh, hello. I heard
Yes.
that late.
Enemy threat.
Definitely some pretty looking stuff here. I think I'm also flying in my space loadout for the bomber. Whoops. Yeah, there's some questions about multiple battles in the Battlescape at the same time. Currently, the current game mode only has a single ongoing battle at a time. Versions of the game in the past, early on, we had it so that you could have more than one across the Battlescape.
It's still supported. You can do it in the sandbox. There is an option for that. It's not activated on the servers right now because we don't have the player counts for it. But if we had like 100, 200 players, we could just re-enable it at any time.
Yeah, so multi-battles right here. You can have it turned on. So you can have multiple battles going on. The current game loop, still you score points based on the currently active battle. So I guess that would be disincentivizing participation in the battles that actually have score recorded. Yeah, sorry about the audio. It's still tweaking some of the things there. Yeah, so you can do that here. And earlier I was talking about the size of a battlescape. If we go to a large battlescape here, I think it's 4 moons and Wreath Prime. We don't have multi-planetary systems available in the sandbox at the moment. It's something that we'll probably add in the future, but yeah. I'll jump back over to the US East server. Got a few people playing right now, which is nice. Another nice thing about the game is that there's always action happening. The AI populate both teams, so there's always targets. They're pretty competent. If you're a new player, they can be a little bit too competent, so it's definitely a challenge. As you definitely ramp up that skill level, it becomes more and more difficult to outmatch, or more and more. It becomes a little easier, but as your rank goes up, you'll also get aggroed by more of the bots. They'll be a little more aggressive towards you. So there's a scaling difficulty built in. So it's still interesting. Let's see here. You can even see the tone mapping adjustments in the ship selection, which is quite nice. We're kind of jumping all over the place with this patch update, in part because just how much stuff Flavien has done in this build. So like definitely check out the link in the description. You want to read the full list if you're interested in seeing just everything that he's working on.
Let's move on a little bit on the patch list. So before we get to the AI changes, I also need to mention that we have a couple of random fixes which are pretty cool. We fixed, for example, the front spotlight, which was leaking through the cockpits, which was really annoying sometimes. We completed a little bit the localization files for all the non-English languages. You know, German, Spanish, French, Russian, and Chinese. We had a lot of volunteers make the translations before. But some of the translations were incomplete because every patch we are adding more strings, more stuff into it. And so the volunteers, you know, they come in, they do one big batch of a translation, and then they disappear. and so the translations were not up to date for all the languages. So yeah, we completed all the translations. Also, very important, the translations are available for the tutorials as well. So now everything should be translated. There might be some little typos, some little, glitches into the translation. If you notice anything, you can just send a report or anything either on our Discord or on the Steam forums. We had a bunch of bug fixes related to the script as well. The tutorials.
Yeah. There were
So
some
we're also
hang-ups
polishing that
there.
a little bit. Yeah. Still not perfect. I noticed, for example, with the controllers, when I was playing, I was able to do all the tutorials, but some of them are a little bit awkward. So, for example, what was it already? I think it was the one on the capital ship, so the last one, when it asks you to translate or to move the capital ship forward and backward. Because when you are in capital ship control scheme on, let's say, an Xbox controller, the left stick is used to control your pitch and yaw, and the right stick can be used to do with the combo the translations. And having to do the combo with the right stick, the way the buttons are set, very awkward. So it's not like it's a technical bug because you can do it and you can pass the tutorial. It's just that the layout of the buttons on the sticks make it fairly tricky to do. But it's just to pass the tutorial because in normal gameplay you don't really need it. You can just play, your capital ship with target speed and changing the heading or pitching on you with the left stick.
Yeah.
So yeah, to go back a bit on the AI, there was a lot of improvement there. One fun one is that now there is a chance for the bots to have a custom skin.
Yeah, that's right. I did actually see one flying
Oh,
earlier.
you saw one?
I think it was a cruiser.
The
had one.
elite bots or the Nemesis, which also got a fix, by the way, have a higher chance. The higher rank the bot is, the higher the chance he gets a custom skin. So that's pretty cool. Later on, we will have the skin system work for the players as well. So that will be one of our next steps. Right now, it's a bit randomized. You get a random bubble head and so on. But once we do the update with the skin on cosmetics, you will have a menu where you can select your favorite skins or bubble heads.
Right, dropping in the atmosphere.
We reduced a bit the spinal cannon's charge thrust penalty. If you remember, when you start charging, you have a penalty of minus 90% of mobility reduction. This was reduced to only, if I can say it like that, 75%. So your aiming while you are charging is a little bit better now. It's not like there is still a big penalty because you need to be in a weakened state while you charge. But at least now you can aim a little bit better, I think. We also reduced a little bit the mobility, especially related to boosting or to exceeding the speed cap of AI bots during battles. Sometimes they were really abusing their boosting and it was getting really hard to hit them. So it's still there for very elite bots, but the average case or the low rank bots, now they don't boost or exceed their cap as much as before. So hunting them is a little bit easier. What else? So looking at the list, so we had the fix of the Nemesis as well. It was based on the RNG, the random number generator before, and it was pretty bad. We had improvement related to the retaliate behavior. You know, when a ship, an AI bot is under attack, sometimes it was not reacting at all, like bombers, for example, which were getting hit by an interceptor, or sometimes they were retaliating all the time. And so there was some balancing related to that. It should be a lot better. What important one?
Charging.
So we had a bug, and that one was fun to debug actually, which caused, you know, let's say you have two interceptors that are in a dogfight, and by chance a destroyer is passing like between them and blocking the view for a second or two, and the bots were losing targets at each other. So now there is a bit of a timer in order to switch to another target because they lost the line of sight. They have to wait a little bit more instead of being almost instant as before. We had improvements related to the escort behavior. For example, when an interceptor was escorting a bomber, it was not very aggressive before. So let's say you were a player, you were starting to attack the bomber, and the escort interceptor was not reacting all that much. And a lot of the escorts actually didn't do much in the battle. Like they were simply flying around, following their escort. So that is fixed as well. Now they are a lot more aggressive, which means that you will get ganged up a little bit more now, at least at low number, because we also fixed issues with ganging up against one player with large numbers. And some of this was related to the carrier. You know, when there was a carrier inside the battle, an AI carrier, I mean, a lot of the bots were ganging up on you if you were approaching the carrier. So there were things like that.
Yeah, so that's really based on some of the recent feedback we got in a couple of reviews on Steam there.
Yeah.
Especially that and the controller stuff as well. It's one of those things where if enough people are saying it in reviews, you kind of rightly pointed out how many people haven't left a review or haven't raised it. That just kind of refunded.
I mean, you don't have to do a negative review for us to listen to.
No, exactly.
You will listen to, like, you just have to communicate clearly on Steam or Discord.
Yeah.
That something is an issue.
Yeah.
And also, you know, we are a very small dev team, so we need to prioritize everything. So if something is an issue, but like, okay, it's a small issue, it's not just something to know, but you can you have workarounds, and maybe we will not fix it until much later.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have enough ship points now. That's okay. I was going to show off the spinal cannon, but that's okay. Yeah. Let's see what else we have. There's a lot of stuff. The update time. I think we're actually where are we at right now? Total stream length. I think we're at an hour. That's surprising to me.
Yeah. So we will wrap it up shortly. But so there was a major bug as well, where when a ship, an AI, was escorting you as a player, and you were selecting that ship, that ally, which is escorting you, it was dropping the escort mode. It was stopping to escort you.
Yeah.
So that is fixed as well. And we got also some good improvements to the support ship AI. They were frequently getting interrupted. So sometimes they were starting to escort a ship to repair and resupply it. But the bugs into the retaliate behavior made it so that they got distracted very easily. by incoming fire or by a passing destroyer who was firing turrets at it. And so it was stopping to escort. So now they stay focused a bit more. And also, when they pick up some crates, previously, they could try, like all the support ships in the battlefield were trying to pick up the same crate at once.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be
And
an
so,
issue.
like, one of them would succeed and all the other ones would fail. But now in this new update, they try to spread a little bit more, like one support ship will pick up the first crate, but the second support ship will instead try to get the second crate. And maybe another support ship will get the third crate. So they don't go to the same crate at all. So that will increase their chance to replenish their resource points. I also implemented, and that's very experimental. I haven't really had the time to see if it works or not. I guess not, because it's always very complex. But AI support ships are supposed to be able to use drones now, to send a drone like players do to repair or to resupply a capital ship that is 20, 30 kilometers away. So
Okay.
they can try to use drones as well, but I don't know if it works. Like, I know the code is there, but I haven't really had time to debug it like completely. Another thing I noticed while I was internally testing, the AI for the spinal cruiser is still half broken.
Hmm.
It's something we've had for months. I haven't fully figured out yet. I tried to do some improvements this patch, but I guess it still doesn't work. So I still don't know what's going on. Sometimes it works, like they get into position, they charge, and they fire at the base or the infrastructure. So it works well, but after a while, it seems like they stop working, and they get stuck into a loop where they do this approach phase to the base, but they don't start the charge.
Hmm.
And I think it's related to their orientation, because you need to have a very, very tight angle to start the charge toward, let's say you have a cruiser which is 150 kilometers away from the base. So like you have less than 1 degree of accuracy to start the charge. Because you lose, your mobility when you charge. Also, we reduced it to 75% this patch. But like it's still very low mobility. So if you are not like well aligned to the target when you start the charge, it gets very hard to correct while charging. And so that's a bit the problem we have with the spinal cruisers right now. But just know that it's still an ongoing bug or issue that we still need to fix. But I think in terms of AI, we are getting there. I think once we finish fixing the spinals, most of the AI should be in a good spot. We still need to get some feedback from players. It's because the AI has become very complex, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so there are so many things that are interacting with everything. And one thing which is very important to us is that the AI is not cheating. It's following exactly the same rules, it has the same capabilities than a player does. The ships are the same. So they don't get improved firepower or hit points or no. Like the only difference between them and a player is their brain, like how smart they are at controlling the ship. But the ship itself has exactly the same capabilities than a player does. And it's very important that the AI is not artificially, getting more firepower, for example, than a player. So that the battles feel fair and like what would look like if there was some other players. And so that's why the AI has become very complex, and there are a lot of elements to the puzzle
Yes.
which are interacting with everything else, and every battle is different. So, you know, when you have an issue, replicating it in our test is also very hard. Because every battle is different, so you will not have exactly the same scenarios of ship which is fighting that other ship in this position with this state and so on. It's like every battle is different. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's a good overview. Like
that's a lot of
there's probably a lot more little things, but I think we went over all the major
yeah,
changes.
we went over a lot of the major stuff. We kind of dipped into a little bit of the small things too. There's someone asking in our chat too, in the YouTube chat here, just asking about whether or not they can speak to the developers, one of the developers. We are accessible. We operate on different hours because we're kind of situated all over the planet here. Yeah, you can ask questions in the Discord server, and yeah, typically we'll respond. If we don't get to you, we have community members that are pretty active, and they're pretty good about answering questions if they have answers to those. If you have technical problems, post in the tech support channel. If you have bug reports, you find an issue in the game, post that in the bug reports channel. You can find the game logs in the documents folder if you're on Windows. Yeah, and there should be a Discord link, invite link, in the video description for this video, actually. And we've also had some spam issues on the Discord channel lately, the last few weeks. We've been trying to fix that and resolve that problem. So we've been slowly implementing different features to try to stem the flow of spam. It seems like we've stopped it for the time being, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Oh, hello. Did he just die? Okay, we're good. I'm now flying a carrier. I'm going to turn off my track IR because it can be a little bit too much. Switch to my hangar mode, select all wings, escort. They're going to get deployed out the front of the ship. And then from my tactical screen here, oh, let's slow down a little bit. Tactical screen, I can get an idea of where they're up to, where they're off to, what they're doing, and where they're going. I have mostly interceptors, so I'm going to work on escorting this guy. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Detailed bug reports, very helpful. Yeah, so there's definitely things we haven't covered, but that's okay. We've been talking about this patch, this build for the last hour. Oh, there we go. There's a spinal cannon firing. Oh, I didn't really see the effect that much. Not a lot of battle-smog around it, but we'll definitely catch more of that as we move. I now have 45 ships, just deploying the last one now.
Oh, nice.
45 interceptors and a few bombers, all escorting me. And we are now in formation. So I'm going to probably tell them just to do search and destroy here. We have a lot of bombers, apparently. Just flying escort for this allied carrier.
Formation target lost. Target destroyed.
Can't even see them. I'm not in the... Oh, just the smog looks so much better, man. Let's pull back out and maybe prioritize... okay. I'm just observing the game right now. I'm not even really playing. Yeah, community's pretty good right now. The people answer questions for you if you've got any there, and we will do our best to try to address that as well. Yeah, a lot of stuff in this build. I've said that a few times now. A lot of stuff in the patch.
Heat cooldown.
If you have questions, I'm kind of keeping an eye on the YouTube chat here. Check out the Discord, community Discord, if you have questions about the game. If you're not really sure you're ready to purchase or you want the game right now, it's currently available on Steam Early Access, and we are participating in the summer sale at 30% off. I'm getting to a point now where the game is starting to provide a lot more value as well as we move into a more polished state. Incoming torpedo. Incoming MTB, that's my selection. Radial menu. Do I not have AMS? Oh, they're offline. Oh, turn that on. I must have misclicked that at some point. Oh,
Target destroyed.
just got it.
Formation target
Okay.
lost.
It almost hit me.
Heat cooldown.
Let's
Formation target lost.
turn on the missile
Target
arrays too
destroyed.
and start hammering this destroyer. Let's switch then back to my hangar mode, and I can then select a squadron and tell them to attack a target. So we're going to start firing missiles. So there's missiles coming from my ship, and I have 45 ships to manage here. So it's a lot as a carrier. But switch back to my loadout controls. Those hotkeys are now back on my loadout. Let's go
Formation
like
target
this.
acquired.
Okay.
Formation target lost.
Switch to hangar mode, tell them to attack that target. And this is where using a controller, it'd be interesting to see how people use a controller playing something like the carrier. Oh, target that. Go, 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 go. Hit it. Oh, it looks so much better, Flavien.
Destroyed.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, it looks beautiful. Ship's just breaking up around me. Oh, allied carrier. We got 2 carriers in orbit right now, or at the battle. Ooh. I just got hit with something there. Pretty big. It looks like we're dominating the space battle right now. We just have a lot of carrier stuff going on. And also, I am a squad leader right now, so I can turn on... I don't think I have any members in my squadron, though, do I? No, I don't. Control T sets squad target, but am I not in squad? Oh, I'm not in squad. There we go. I'll create a squadron. And now you can see my squad over here. MFDs are all customizable. There's a few new people watching. So you can set these to whatever you'd like. You can save the setup as well. There's layers to this onion that have slowly been building over time, which makes patches like this, what do you want to call it, Flavien? Patches like this are becoming more and more necessary, I guess. Just the sheer volume of things.
Yeah.
Just because there's just so many things going on now. Oh, I can see the attenuation nicely from the smog here.
Formation target lost. Target destroyed.
Got another target here. There go the torpedoes. There's a wing of fighters. Let's actually go like this. Loadout mode, hangar mode. Let's sick all of them on this guy. Switch back to tactical screen. I can see all... How many squadrons do I have? 6? 7? 7 squadrons are now going to turn their attention on that cruiser. They're interceptors, so they're not going to do a ton of damage, but... Is there VR support, Flavien? Oh, you just got taken out.
Nope.
No VR support.
Not
Oh, that's
yet.
going to look pretty.
But after we do 1.0, hopefully, yes.
Yeah, that's a post-launch thing there.
Yep.
Switch back to, let's select all these guys again and set them to escort me. Let's turn this around. It looks like we are, yeah, we've dominated this space battle here. Zoom right out. There's very few targets and no capital ship targets. I'm going to change my orientation to the base now for the star map. Just a little bit cleaner on planetary assault, situating the planet below me. Can be a little confusing, but Let's turn our attention to the base. We have
Formation target acquired.
how many
Formation
ground?
target lost.
Let's see. Oh,
Formation
low
target
ammo. I
acquired.
can come in and help you out there with the ammo. And it looks like I also have a couple allied ships. Yeah, so this destroyer is an ally. This is
Formation
not a
target
human player.
acquired.
This is just one of the bots, and it's now providing the escort. It looks like it's providing escort. Yes, it is. Oh,
Formation
hello.
target lost.
You're venturing close. And because the space battle has been won, at this point, it looks like the fleet is starting to move downward towards the planet's surface. So there are definitely limits. You don't want to bring capital ships too low into atmosphere, but you can. Let me just do an emergency dock to all squadrons. That tells all squadrons, come back to the ship. Get back on board. There we go. Whee! Beautiful. While they're in the ship, they will get repaired. Oh, he took one out. How could you? Fire some missiles at you. Alright. They're almost all docked. Come on, guys. Emergency dock. One more. And then I'm going to kick on the warp drive, and we're going to make for some pretty visuals here as we zip down to the
Formation
surface.
target lost. Target destroyed. Warp.
Yeah, visual effects like planetary oceans and clouds, Flavien. Do you have comments on that? I know we have them in our Trello board, but I don't know. And there is a link to the Trello board which will give you an idea of what we're working on now and what's coming up next. Kind of gives you a rough idea of what the plan is. So you can check that out in the video description here. But do you have an opinion that you'd like to share on either one of those items? Ooh.
The clouds?
Yeah, clouds and oceans. I think was another one that people.
Yeah,
asked
we have
about.
some experimental stuff we did years ago. I am not sure we will have time to do anything for the 1.0 release. Right now, we simply want to ship with what we have.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to launch my squadrons. Let's go to that one. Hello.
Oh, for random passerby. Hello, hello. Unfortunately, you cannot access the game anymore. But will there be updates toward restoring conquest mode? Kinda.
I was wondering what you were going to say. Kind of, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we would like to do it for 1.0, but we need to do some experiments and see if it's possible. But if it's possible, it's something we would like to do for the 1.0 release, when there are more players. Because I think a conquest mode like that
Formation target
is only interesting
Formation target
when the player count is high enough.
Yes, so it is possible. Yeah, clouds and oceans are the kind of visual polish things that, I don't know, I think we've kind of decided that gameplay is a little bit more important than beauty in some capacities.
I mean, everything is important, but
Yeah. Oh.
problem is that some of that stuff, you know, like the
Formation
oceans,
target
the
acquired.
clouds,
Mission success. Formation target
it's
lost.
taking like many weeks, if not months of development. On what value does that bring to the game?
Yeah.
You know, considering we have been in development for almost 10 years now, we need to ship the game in 1.0 sooner than later. So someone is a combat courier is asking like, what is the ETA on a 1.0? It's very hard to answer because every time we say in a couple months, and after a couple months, it does not happen.
Target destroyed.
Yeah. We need to hit targets, and it's tough to do given the budget.
I like to
and
think
timeline.
it's more a matter of months than years at this point. because I'm not even sure like we can continue for many years like that.
Yeah.
But is it going to be before the end of the year, or is it going to be next year, early next year? I don't know. And even if technically we are ready, there are also timing windows for commercial projects. You know, you can't really launch an indie game on Steam in December because
No.
you are going to get buried by the amount of competition on the AAA games. GTA 6 is coming also fairly soon.
Is it?
So it's a really bad. It's a bad time to launch a game.
Yeah.
So I'll say this: if we have not released the game by September, October, there is a very high chance we are going to skip it, even if we are ready. Well, we're never going to be fully ready because there is always work to do, you know. But let's say we are in a state good enough so that we could launch 1.0. If we cannot make it before October, I think it will be early next year, like maybe February or March next year.
Yeah.
So that's the best I can say right now.
Yeah. Without an official announcement. Just kind of
Yep.
there. All right. Are we going to warp? Let's go, guys. Let's warp out of here. Come on. Are you all escorting me? No. Oh, they are. We've got multiple. We've got quite a fleet here. Mostly AI, mostly bots, but it feels nice to be a part of a group. Okay, I'm going to get my speed up. Repairing allies. I've got my ships back in.
Charging.
Showing off a little bit of the capital ship gameplay. Some of the carrier stuff. I'm not always playing all of the different ships. Nice giant warp field. Whoop. See you later, guys. There we go. There they go.
Functional cockpits. I guess not.
No.
That's the best I can say because, again, it's something that adds very little value to the game at this point. It's more for immersion than anything, so not before 1.0 for sure. Chassis for different ships, yes, so that one is possible. We have discussed a carrier chassis, a new carrier chassis, I think. We want to revamp a little bit some of the chassis or some of the weapons that are specific to certain chassis. For example, the heavy interceptor chassis is currently in a bad spot because the main advantage of the heavy interceptor chassis is the ability to mount rocket launchers. But the rocket launchers suck. So, like, the entire point of having a heavy interceptor is currently bad.
Yeah.
So we need to fix that.
That's a way to put it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm being honest.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Yeah, they need work. Nobody uses them currently.
We can add more chassis. We can add more upgrades. New weapons, probably not. I think we're pretty much done with weapons at this point. But there are still a couple of upgrades that I know we have discussed in the past and we can still do. I think there was one mini jump for capital ships we wanted to do.
Yeah, like a quick thrust on the engines to be able to dodge.
Like
not like a
boost.
A little bit of a boost. Like you might be able to dodge.
A control boost, we will say like that.
Yeah, the reason I think describing it makes more sense when you understand the context. The bombing runs. If you're in a bomber, you can start firing, I think at around 100 kilometers out or 50 I think it's 50 kilometers out, sorry now. And at the right speed, you can get a nice cluster of torpedoes all stacked. And then if you do it right, you can basically jump on someone. And there's no real way to avoid it unless you're in a faster moving ship. And so one of the thoughts is, well, have an upgrade on capital ships to be able to dodge that, and that would be a temporary high boost thrust that would allow you to evade torpedoes moving at high speed. So at least partially, you might miss them, kind of thing. You'd have to get the timing right. And I think
Yeah,
along
if you
with
get the timing right, you could move your capital ship by, let's say, a couple
Yeah.
hundred meters.
and it might be
Like
fair.
in a second, for
Just-
example.
I just had a thought. It might be fair to add a additional warning. So we have the incoming torpedo warning, but if you have like more than 3 torpedoes incoming, it would be nice to maybe make that even a higher alert. I think we already have the warning alert, but something a little bit more urgent even than that might be interesting. You can understand what I mean. So it's like you can kind of you're not just have a torpedo on you. You probably have a bomber incoming that has multiple torpedoes and is engaged in a high-speed bombing run. Might be valuable to have that information available. What is going on?
To look around in cockpit, you hold the left control key and you move the mouse.
Yeah. I am going to
Assuming you're on the
myself. I'm going to put myself in the middle of the enemy fleet here. Let's get into this battle. This is a larger battle, so there's a lot more ships that just spawned in for the enemy, as well as the Allied defense force here. It looks like we have a couple of... Oh, they're all hiding underneath the glow of the planet. Okay. So now we're actually flying in the gas giant atmosphere here.
Yeah, the yellow sunset gas giant atmosphere. It's very funny.
It hid the kind of in the sunset, or the what do you call that? Terminator.
Yep,
Along
and
the
it's one
sunset.
part which I think is really cool with the game, is that every match is randomly regenerated. So it reuses the same planet every time, of course, but we're planning to add more planets by the time we release. So it recycles the planets, but the location for the space stations, the bases, the ground bases, like everything is being randomized every time. And so the battles feel different every time. So next time you will have maybe also a battle on the gas giant, in the atmosphere of the gas giant, but maybe it will be in the middle of daylight, for example, or higher in the atmosphere.
Enemy threat. Incoming torpedo.
Making sure my loadouts are good.
Incoming
Target
missile.
destroyed. Oh, it just looks so good. Oh, Hawkster's just dropping in on me. Incoming threat. Incoming threat. Let's get you. Make sure those are online. Switch to hangar mode and send my bombers after him. Actually, let's send everything at him. I don't think I can do that, actually.
Incoming torpedo.
We can try that.
Incoming missile.
Yeah, your torpedoes aren't going to reach me. Yeah, turn on the
Enemy
missiles.
Engaging target.
Just set my squad target to Hawksters. Oh, pretty. Bombers are hitting me with missiles, small missiles. 'Tis but a scratch, sir. 'Tis but a scratch. Have some missiles. Oh, I'm gonna ram you. You're not gonna like that.
Incoming torpedo.
Yep.
Danger alert.
Don't fly close to a carrier unless you want to hit it and end up, what do you call that? Hull break? Sorry, I had to do that. The opportunity was too good.
Incoming torpedo.
Oh, the battle smog feels good.
Target
It's a
destroyed.
noticeable improvement. I keep saying it, I know, but it is a noticeable. I'm looking at it, like just the number of lights are having a profound impact on just. It looks good. Okay, let's zoom back. Just so many ships. Okay, let's get the. What do we got? Squad 4. Let's give them all search and destroy commands. I'm going to go up to the enemy carrier here. Say hello. Oh. Yeah. I'm going to get hit with a torpedo. Yep. There's a cluster. Multiple bombers on me at once there. I don't really have any other allied escorts. Let's turn on my weapons overcharge. Help those AMS systems out.
Hit cooldown.
Good stuff. Hawksters is no longer a threat. Let's change course and head over here. This destroyer.
Incoming torpedo.
Send some bombers after this target. Check my 6. I've got more, another cluster of bombers in behind me. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take my bottom 3 squadrons, 4, 5, and 6, and get them to escort me. Yes. Let's get squad 7 to come back for repairs. Get them to dock. And let's have a look at the first squadron and let's spectate them. See what they're doing. Dropping as torpedoes on the target.
Enemy threat.
Getting engaged by an interceptor. No! Evade! Yeah, that was just me
Enemy threat.
observing one of my squadrons. Jeez.
Heat cooldown.
So Lux is asking like what I would consider fun to do after 1.0.
Yes.
So there are 2 things which I would love to have time to do, like just for fun. First one would be to move the smog, the smog to be fully volumetric, like in an actual shader. Because right now it's particle based, and I mean it kind of looks okay, I suppose, for particles. But it requires like many thousand particles,
Heat cooldown.
and there is a lot of overdraw, so performance-wise it's also not the best. So like,
Target destroyed.
I'm not fully happy with the smog. I think it could look a lot better if it was done in shaders. The problem with that is battles are very big.
Requesting
They can
assistance.
be, you know, many,
Danger
like
alert.
100, 200 kilometers apart. And you still need to have a lot of details in the smog, into the clouds, in the middle of a battle if you are very, very close.
Oh yeah, like what's on,
And so,
on
like-
screen right now here.
You would need to do something which is more similar to cloud rendering in AAA games.
Incoming threat.
And I think it's possible. But it would be weeks of work, at the very least. Another thing, which I don't think we ever mentioned publicly yet,
Oh,
but
exclusive?
it's yeah, it's an exclusive info. But an effect I would really love to do is computing fluids for shields. So that, you know, right now again we are playing a particle impact effect, like you have on your screen right now when you get hit by an incoming projectile. And it kind of works. It's a bit of a shader trickery to make it work. It's looking pretty good, I think. But what would be even better is if we literally add a fluid simulator and we computed like a shockwave of shield distortion at the point of impact surrounding your ship. And yeah, with the rendering, that would be cool to have lightning effects, like lightning effects, to have storms, maybe with rain or raindrops. Another one is a refraction effect. You know, when you have a shockwave or the glass on your cockpit. That would look a lot more professional, I think, and a lot better. So that one maybe we could try to do for 1.0.
Incoming torpedo.
It will depend like on how easy or hard it is to do. But it's a pretty standard effect nowadays. It's 2D. So in a post-processing effect, I think it could work
Incoming torpedo.
like in a couple of days of work.
oh, jeez. Yeah. I'm barely hanging on here. I'm about to go down. I gotta flee, I think.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
Well, the whole intention of dropping myself right into the battle was to experience a timely demise. because most of my, you can see on the hangar here on the right of the screen in the MFD there, it's most of the ships I have now they have perished.
Incoming missile.
I'll send them all against this
Enemy
target.
threat.
Like one last hurrah. Oh, there's the spinal cannon.
Enemy threat.
Oh, there's it going. There I blew up. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, there goes the carrier. Blown to pieces. And those pieces will now dip down into the atmosphere and burn up. There we go. We're playing on the US East server, so if you have the game, you want to jump in, you want to play a little bit, we've got a few people online right now. Next patch will probably be able to broadcast a little bit more. We got a bunch of people in game, some experienced players and some new players alike. Game does have a learning curve. That's something to be aware of. And our tutorials do a pretty good job of introducing you to the core mechanics. You'll still need to do some practice on your own. There's some things to get used to. If you're coming from other space sims, you'll probably catch on pretty quick. There's a lot of familiar movements and controls. Or there's different names for it. Decoupled mode or flight assist or computer assist, things like that. All of the ships have flight assist you can turn off. You can even just throw it out of the computer or throw out the computer entirely if you want to play that way, which we do have people that do, and they're a bit mad to fight against. You can just take your flight assist computer and just unmount it. You don't need that if you're super pro. But I prefer to use it. Yeah, the visuals in the game right now are looking awesome. I'm gonna jump in as an interceptor. I'm going to kind of be testing the spawn controls. Oh, controls look good. Oh, hello. Controls worked.
Oh, speaking about
do that
controls, if you can replicate the problem you had earlier about capital ship and small ship control scheme, the important part is to know how to replicate it.
Yeah, I don't see an issue right now. It worked this time. Except that I didn't spawn in the right location. What? Why didn't I? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna eject and redeploy because stream. Let me just jump this. Yeah, lots of technical improvements, lots of technical in-world lore. What are the shields made of? How do the thrusters work, and so on? Flavien, how do the thrusters work in the game?
Magic.
Magic.
Everything is magic.
Yeah. Magic, space magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some lore for story and background that hasn't been released, but yeah. Question: have you ever wished to make it more of a simulator, even a stronger simulator? Are you talking about? Oh, that's an interesting question.
Oh yeah, that's a very interesting one. And my honest answer is no.
No.
I think we are already too hardcore.
Yeah, there's niche, and then there's too niche, and there's a place for it. There's games that go further, and those games are good too. They're awesome, but we're offering a little bit of something slightly more accessible. Oh. It's already tough to get new players onboarded because of the learning curve, the controls, the concepts. Oh, how did I not take him down? Oh, he's got shields up still. Next target. Yeah. So there are games that do a really good job with the more sim side, but we're still kind of just threading that needle between an arcade style experience.
Yeah. I mean, there are a couple of features which I think could get more depth in terms of spacing. I'm thinking, for example, the shields. At some point earlier in the development, we wanted to do directional shields.
Yes.
A bit like in X-Wing, the old classic LucasArts game, which I was a big fan of. And that's why we have overcharged. It's a bit like in That was the inspiration it was coming from. But the idea is that you could rebalance the shield so that you have more power or more shield power at the front or at the back, or if you are on a capital ship, you would even have left, right, and maybe up and down shields. So like small ships would get, I guess, 2 shields, and the capital ships up to 6 shield sites, basically. And each of them would have their own shield points on shield integrity. So that's something I would like to see. I think it brings a lot of value to the game and potentially a lot of fun. I don't think we will do it for 1.0 because we have to finish the game and launch it first.
You shot at me first. I'll leave you be. I'm not going to finish that kill. He's at 3% hull.
But I mean, like, other than that, I don't think there are a lot of other features which I think need more depth. Like, if anything, I would like to see more ships, classes.
Yes. Yes.
And maybe more weapons and more upgrades.
More ships, more weapons.
And maybe more stuff in terms of the persistent progression system.
Yeah.
You know? And
but now you're starting to expose the dream list.
Yeah, I mean, all of that is after 1.0 if we get a bigger budget.
Yes.
So that's not realistic, like, at the moment. But yeah, a lot of things we could do with a bigger budget.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
It was a nice battle.
Okay, I gotta pick a target after that little foray. Pop back. Yeah, the tone mapping is much better, much improved. How many targets do I have on me? Anybody targeting? No one's targeting me right now. Hawksers looks awfully close. Whoa, where are all these ships coming from? They must have just spawned in. Oh, it just looks good. Yeah, you also changed some of the brightness and saturation of the mine explosions, was it? They were a little bit too red before, was that correct?
Yeah, I changed a bit some colors.
I mean, to be fair, I'm also in the middle of a very in a very yellow atmosphere. Question about audio and sound effects in the chat there. Some of our sound effects do need attention. I think we've discussed that a few times, but
well, the problem here is a problem of budget.
Formation target acquired.
The short answer is that we can do tweaks and replace some of the effects if we find some better effects, like in a library, in a third-party library. We don't really have a budget to hire a dedicated sound effect right now. So yeah, if it's in a third-party library, if you find something which sounds really good, we can always replace it, even if it's commercial. Even if it has a small commercial light sound, we can use that. But hiring a sound effect guy to redo everything in the game, no, we don't have the budget for that.
Oh, yeah, so it sounds like if you already had the game installed, maybe the default... You'll regret sparing me, swear on my life. Sorry, soundboard guy. Just a question there from Combat Courier. Not a question, a note. He says that his tone mapping was set to filmic. Mine was as well. So if you're playing the game, you might want to just double check and see what the setting is.
Yeah, I don't know why, because normally when the game launched, it did a check and automatically changed it to AGX. So I guess that is not working. But I added it to my my to-do list and I will investigate. But normally it should have done the upgrade for everybody, so I guess it's broken.
Yeah, I guess there's going to be little issues, there's going to be bugs, so just review that real quick, just since we're talking about it. Under Options, Graphics, scroll all the way down, Gamma and Color Correction. AGX is the one you're going to want. I mean, you can look at the filmic and see the difference. So let's have a look here.
The is that, as I said, AGX is a bit more desaturated, like
Yes.
naturally, compared to filmic.
Yeah.
And so to counteract that, I resaturated some of the explosion effects.
Okay. So
Which
then
means
when
that now if you play on filmic,
might be a little bit too strong.
the explosion effect will be too strong.
Well, you can actually just see. So there's something going on. The way AGX handles saturation is a little bit different from how Filmic handles it. Because Filmic doesn't really touch the saturation of colors, whereas from my understanding of it, AGX will adjust saturation with brightness. So as an object gets brighter, its perceived saturation drops. So you lose some of those sharper, more cartoony color palettes, and you start to get more neutrals. You see a lot of games have that neutral AGX lately. Especially sci-fi games will have that kind of a gray appearance to a lot of their colors. And that's kind of what AGX is doing. But I'm going to pop out of the hangar. Actually, you know what? Let's just eject and redeploy. Yes, please. We didn't really have any gameplay with community today, which is unfortunate. But I think everybody can agree that we've had a significant build here. Let me see. Been following game for 15 years. We'll buy it soon on Steam to support you guys. Wonderful work. Hey, Reisveg. I can't say that name. Thanks for the comment. Appreciate it. It has been a long time, kind of a labor of love for everybody on the team. Been kind of slugging away here for a while. Haven't always had time to work on it full time, at least for some of us. Flavien, you've been pretty much full time now for a while. There's a lot.
Yes.
A lot has been going on. How do you sell your SP? You don't need that stuff to fly an interceptor. SP is like a if Electrify, if you're listening right now, SP is more of a distribution from the corporation. I want to think of it, or the corporate entity. If you call it a pseudo government corporate entity, really. That's me dipping into the lore a little bit, which isn't. Yeah, you're allotted a certain amount. You can use what's available to you, but it's also being distributed based on the team. Actually, no, it isn't. It's just based on a pure timer now, isn't it? It used to be based on resources. But that's where the conquest mode would reintroduce the resources. Is that right, Flavien? Resource accumulation and bonuses. We were talking about some of that in the past.
We were
different game modes.
Yeah.
Where are we at? We have a space station assault. Let's just have a look at it. Oh, another one. So now it would be assault instead of defense. And I have enough ship points, don't I? Let's just do this. Because I need this for the stream, not because I want to use it. Let's give myself some ship points there and jump over to the cruiser. I'm going to switch over to my orbital platform. What do you call it? Orbital bombing platform is what I'm calling it. My assault loadout for the cruiser. A lot of phalanx CWIS, so close-in weapons to help with the anti-torpedo and anti-missiles. They give me that last few seconds edge to prevent that from getting me. Some gun turrets. I'm avoiding energy-consuming weapons because I want this spinal cannon to have a nice pool of energy to draw from, because you have to have over 70% to fire. And I've got my presets all set according to non-spinal mode, engaging ship to ship. Secondary one is making sure my spinal cannon is active and the phalanx and SSMs are active. So ship to ship missile or space to space missile is a way to think of those. Those are SAM sites essentially on the ship, or well, missile launchers. And then the other ones are more isolating my turrets, so I can tune those, and then just an exclusive spinal mode. All of these are nameable, and then these names show up in the preset radial menu. So because I'm going to have to travel to Xanthar Station, I'm going to go here from the missions. There's Xanthar Station. Jump into the star map here. Look for Xanthar Station. I'm going to select my closest deployable base. which unfortunately is on the far side. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to double click on Sirake, and I'm going to double click on this. Oh, same name. Let's go to Habelos because it's a large station. It'll be fun to spawn there. And I will spawn on this one. So I'm going to spawn here. And then let's just have a quick look at a ship horn would be pretty cool. Yeah, the mine explosions look good. All the explosions now in the Battle-smog look great. The ship explosions definitely dominate. Oh, I have to be very careful. There has been a question about the small asteroids. Can you turn off collision with the little asteroids in the ring system? Because right now, as you know, on my screen right now, that asteroid right there, if I hit it, it will do damage to my ship. I've had a couple people ask about that recently. If you're warping through the rings, my advice is don't. And go straight up or down relative to the ring angle. Get out of the ring system and avoid the rocks as best you can, or the asteroids for now, because they're not dynamic actors. They're static. They don't get bumped away. They bump you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'd rather reduce the collision due to asteroids in warp than simply remove asteroids.
Well, I mean, like, just for the capital ships, I don't know if that's something you could even do, but, like, it's something you can do. It's just, would it be worth it so that the small asteroids don't actually affect the capital ships? They just cross through without intersection. I mean, that feels like a reasonable workaround, just for the smaller ones that look like they shouldn't do damage if you hit them. I don't think that would be like an immersion breaking thing. It would just be more of a quality of life thing. I've definitely done it a few times. I forget about it, and then I get taken out. Suicide into the rocks. I am gonna just give myself a different skin.
Dan, I will be going.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, have fun.
Yeah, thanks for.
If you find more bugs, just report them to me, of course.
Yeah, will do. If I find anything, I'll let you know. I'm gonna play a little bit more here, but then I'm gonna have to duck out as well. So, not much of a community event, really. At least not participating from the developers today. There's people.
Been 2 hours already, so.
Oh no, I know. Like we had a lot to cover in this patch, and there were things to kind of talk about, answering some questions. Ooh, let's turn off the track IR so it's not flickering around as I look at the other monitors here. Yeah, dynamic actors are a complex thing. There, it adds a lot of. Yeah. Anyways, thanks Flavien for joining, and we'll see you
next time. Then
see you on the next one. And I'll see you next week.
Yep.
We'll talk to you next week. I'll see you on the Discord.
Have fun, yeah.
Cheers.
Bye.
Okay. I'm going to turn up the volume a little bit on the game. Just crank that a little bit more. And still keep the music down, because in case anyone has questions. I do like playing as the Spinal Cannon. This is one of my fun loadouts that I'll use. Am I attacking and destroying? Yes, I am. Okay. Yeah. So, big patch. Lots of information to go through. I'm sure we still didn't cover everything in the notes. We covered a lot. I think it's going to be impossible for me to go back and add chapters to this video, just because we were bouncing around so much. There's a lot of stuff related to the visuals, the graphics, the key binding, the UI, a lot of bug fixes, performance improvements. It's a lot of quality of life stuff and polish combined with, well, polish items combined with AI improvements too. I know Flavien spent some time talking about that. Yeah, as usual, if you have any bugs, if you find any bugs, check out the Bug Reports channel on the Discord. Try to provide as much information as possible, and especially if you can repeat the bug. You can find repeatability and you can kind of help pinpoint what the cause is. That's great. If not, just knowing that there's an issue with something is helpful too. You can also report on the on the Steam forums. We're usually in the Discord if you want to. If you have active technical support questions, you're having problems with the install, skin customization and implementation. No. Oh, hang on a second. I gotta set myself up here. Spine exclusive. CIWS deter. Hang on a second. Let's get this set up. This has been updated. The visual effect for the spinal cannon has been improved. The light was moved forward, so it illuminates better instead of illuminating from inside the ship. Oh, that's an interesting thing. The attenuation is doing something interesting there. I'll have to let Flavien know. From camera position. Oh, that was cool. Yeah. Yeah, skins customization implementation. That, I know we've been talking about custom skins. Jan has been working on the destroyer and getting it fixed up. There were some issues with the mesh that had to be resolved. So he's been working on getting that cleaned up so we can get some custom skins going for the destroyer. I know that the... Oh, nice. There's Chi. I know the interceptor is ready for custom skins. There are a bunch of them in already. The cruiser as well has some nice custom skins. Although the model could use some optimizations, but we're not going to worry about that, I don't think. At least not pre 1.0. And then the carrier and the support ship. I think the support ship also has some limited support as well now. Oh, geez. Let's get that guy. He's spinal. Well, let's see if I hit it. Come on. Got it.
Target destroyed.
Good hit. Oh, the whole thing is just flipping now. Lovely. That was a good kill. There we go. Let's go back to the station. Pay attention to that. Switch back. We're back and replenished again. And we're just waiting for that spinal cannon to finish its cooldown cycle. And fire again. Station shield is at 94%, so we gotta hit it a lot harder here.
Enemy
Oh, that was interesting. That looked cool. Okay. Oh, shoot. Thank you, Squid. I'm not going to worry about that. Squid's got him. Yeah, he's down. Keeping an eye around me here. Keeping an eye on target. Spinal cannon. Getting ready to deploy once again. Oh, nice. Sharing the same dark skin. Perfect firing. Oh, it looks so pretty. Firing. There it goes. Moving. Let's get back over here.
Engaging target.
Let's get rid of this guy. Oh.
target destroyed.
Nice. Okay, turning back to Xanthar Station. I'm gonna pop down into... What chat are we in here in the Discord server? And how many people are there? Let's see, we've got some tech support stuff, new member introduction, system messages. Did we get a spam? Did we get a bot? Nope, we did not. That's been my part-time job right now, is trying to figure out how to eliminate the spammers on our Discord. That's what it feels like, at least. Firing again. It looks like we're dominating this again, this distant battle. There's actually quite a few targets directly above us. And that's gonna be an issue.
Incoming threat. Incoming threat.
Squid, there is a cruiser coming up on our 6. Let's turn to engage. Turn to engage.
Engaging target. Attack target.
You know what? I'm gonna go for it. Let's go for a spinal shot. Get that angle going, nice, clean. Oh, direct hit. I've never had this much success with a spinal cannon. That was great. Oh, he'll finish him off. Nice. Thanks, Squid. I'm gonna turn my attention back to the base. Switch back.
Attack target.
Oh, sorry. Belay that.
Negative.
As you were. Okay, I'm going back to the base here. Oh, he's got a spinal shot too. Squid, 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 move, move, move. Oh. Beautiful. So the light effect on that spinal cannon round was beautiful. That's looking good too. Going for another shot here. Taking some fire. It's gonna... Yeah, nice. Illuminating that Battle-smog now. Because the number of lights before, because the particle systems were limited to the number of lights that could actually interact with them, that split across multiple systems now just makes for so much more visual dynamism and interest. The target's going to go down quick. I've got debris falling on top of me from above. They're just hitting the hull. Whoa! Was that cheat? Oh no. That was server. Oh man. That was cool. I gotta see that. Yeah, the replay. It just played on YouTube. I just had to look at that. Cool. Yeah, I'm still getting skipped frames due to rendering lag and coding lag, but I don't know why. Okay, new targets that are a priority. Let's switch to all auto.
Engaging target.
Down.
Target destroyed.
Beautiful shot. Wow, that's 3 for 3. That's a rare record. Usually miss. The timing on that is tough. I haven't had actually a stutter issue. Dang, I haven't. So we had a bug in the past where using the spinal cannon at close range like that, you would get like jumps. The ship would suddenly start moving in one direction, and then you'd have to kind of compensate, and it would throw off your shot, and you'd have to reset your cooldown for the spinal cannon. It became quite an annoying bug. I haven't had that happen yet, and I've been firing a few times now, so maybe something Flavien did has actually addressed the issue. Whoa, hello. Oh, let's not do that. This is gonna look nice. Oh yeah, I like how that light just... so much depth. Okay, I'm gonna pop out of the way there, Squid. Got so much debris just falling down to the gas giant now. Yeah, I just collided with a piece there. And we have support ships that are zipping around, and they're resupplying and repairing as we go. Kind of advancing a slow push on the base. Seems to be happening right now. Let's see what the game's... Oh, the game... Oh, sorry. I'm zoomed in. Hey, Casual Knight. Glad to hear you're enjoying it. Yeah, we're definitely getting to that point where you can just hop in and play, and it's just... Once you get the hang of the controls, it doesn't take long to get in and have some fun with it. Definitely finding that people like to play the PvE as a group, rather than PvE or PvP. There's kind of two different styles of players, and we seem to have more people that enjoy that PvE fleet movement experience against the bots than the hardcore PvP. They both have their place, but it'd be nice to see game modes that cater to those exclusive playstyles. So, team games that are more everybody on one team rather than PvP environment where you have people on both teams. But when it comes to game customization, that's where having your own player-hosted mods or player-hosted servers and mods will have an impact on that kind of stuff. So that's planned as well. How's the game so far? Asks Hell Slider 42. Game's doing good, I would say. I've been I'm a little biased, but based on feedback so far, like, I'd say this patch is an improvement. I'm really liking the visuals. The space battles look absolutely amazing. We haven't had many ground battles in this session. At least none that I've shown off. Oh, we got a nice little fleet formation happening. Yes, we've got full escort. 1, 2, 3, 4 destroyers and 3 support ships and a cruiser. Excellent. So yeah, that's the AI just doing that on their own. Those are the bots coming in and actually providing support. Oh.
Engaging target. Requesting assistance.
Got a cruiser, heavy cruiser. I gotta finish this shot and then turn. Let's get that angle of attack narrowed. Change direction. Avoid Squidicus main guns. Let's let this recharge. I'm gonna go for another spinal cannon shot on this guy. Avoid moving too much. Yes!
Target destroyed.
That is so satisfying. Oh, there it goes. I love how the particle effect is actually tied to the ship and not the environment. I think that's 4 for 4 now. Oh, that's wild. That's fun. Could use some repair and resupply from these support ships, but they're not helping me out. Whew. Okay. Yeah, getting that timing on the spinal cannon is not... I guess it's taken me a while to get there, but when it hits, it's nice. It's, oh, there we go. There's that visual. Getting a little bit of a stronger light illumination from the main gun charging, and then also from the projectile as it goes. Just because the smog was right next to me when that charged up. Shields are about to go down. There we go. Let's advance. What do we have by way of base targets? Looks like all of the space cannons are down through primary defense systems. And that spinal shot right there hit. I'm going to warp towards the base.
Charging.
I don't think we have any more shield generators. One more. There's one more shield generator. Where is it? There it is, right there. Come on, select it.
Target destroyed.
Target is down. Reactor is... Oh, hello. Come on. Reactor is exposed. There's the reactor. There's Hawksers. Oh.
Target
I'm so sorry.
destroyed.
I'm so sorry.
blasted me at point blank.
I'm so sorry. I had to do it. I saw you sitting there. I'm sorry. That was Hoxers. Hello, everyone. This is Hoxer. The one I just hit with the spinal cannon. So this is, you guys are on the
I may or
stream.
may not have been not paying attention and just waiting for a gun to repair, so it was totally deserved. But it was absolutely. When I turned around and saw the laser, I was like, "This is hilarious."
I've been 100%.
Sorry.
I've been batting 100 on my spinal cannon hit shots lately. I was
It was
questioning whether or not I would even land that hit. That was.
If I hadn't moved, you would have missed.
Oh,
which is
I'm not
pretty
gonna
funny.
hit that. Oop. That's not gonna go anywhere.
Enemy
Yeah,
threat.
yeah. If you had moved, I would have missed for sure. Yeah, I think I was at least either left or right. It would have missed. Oh, I'm gonna hit the station. Ow. Okay. Yeah. So now we're at the point where the reactor is about to go down. Looks
I don't have to watch the stream anymore, so.
Well, stream is still going. I'm just wrapping up right now. We're gonna watch this thing blow up and see. So there was also the number of lights around stations. When you weren't looking at the station, the lights would cull. They no longer do that. So the lights are visible at all times. So if you're looking away from the station, you'll still have lighting effects from the lights on the station. It was kind of a bug. That's been fixed in this patch as well. It's somewhere in the patch notes. I know that Flavien had added it. Oh, that is going down. So let's get a nice view of this. Squid's gonna knock out the reactor. Station's gonna blow up nice and big. And we'll get a nice visual here. I'm gonna back up away from the station. Let's engines back up a bit. Oh, someone just spawned right next to the reactor that's about to pop. Oh, sorry, Nikita Serpent. You might die from that.
Target destroyed.
Just some minor shield damage. There it goes.
There should be a thing where if the station's destroyed, you can play an escape ship and see if you can get away in a small enough ship, just darting through everything.
I would like to see escape pods. Well, not escape pods for the capitals, but like you spawn a interceptor to escape before your capital ship blows up. That'd be neat.
Right.
But probably not going to happen. Just right now the fleet is turning away and leaving. We're all leaving. We're out of here.
Target destroyed.
Okay, so that is all the time I have for today. Unfortunately, sorry we didn't get to play a little bit more community gameplay. It was a pretty big patch. I don't know how much of the stream you guys were listening to. Lots of stuff to cover. A lot more than usual, actually. And yeah, the visuals are just great.
The visuals are amazing.
I'm enjoying
real
the.
quick before you go.
Oh yeah, go for it.
But on Parallels, it was awfully, it was 30 frames a second, and the mouse was awfully funky, and things were awfully laggy on Parallels.
Okay. Yeah. No. Provide. Yeah. If you got feedback, drop it into. Yeah, that was a good battle. Drop it into the feedback channel for sure.
Right. Yep.
If you have anything that feels like a bug or technical, maybe not. Kind of sounds more like a bug potentially.
Yeah.
Drop that into the bug reports channel as well. Let's see. Yeah, that was a cool fight. I got some great moments there. However,
There's so many good.
let me just. Oh, there's the ship damage. Every spinal. Yeah, 5 direct hits on ships there. There's the ship damage counter. You can look at the structural damage. Every orange shot there. Oh, that's interesting. My cadence for firing is actually pretty consistent. I was getting those shots off. Oh, constantly through the battle. That's good. So I was dealing damage to that main base shield when I wasn't hitting ships. At a pretty even rate. That's good to see. 0 support, because I'm not a support class. And objectives. I don't know why the objectives aren't showing. I have only 1 objective? You know what? That was probably when I hit. So the shields I don't think count for objective contribution. I think it's only if I hit hull or structural targets on the base. Because the structural damage here is... Oh, maybe not. I'm going to have to see. I don't know why that is recording like that. Got a decent score on that one. Squid definitely got the top on that though. Get some PC bonus, some personal credit bonuses. All these stats. That's another thing that'll be coming. All of these stats will be collated into a single total in the future. So you'll have your battle reports will accumulate in your profile. And you'll be able to go back and revisit your total stats, as well as post-death stat screen for that particular spawn. So we're talking about doing that too, kind of like what PlanetSide has. Oop, something hit me. Something flew into me. Yeah, ways of bringing more data, showing more about your contribution in the battles, what you were actually doing. Ooh, overcharge? Oh, whoops. Engines were overcharged. Serial knife. I am increasing my speed, just to warn you there. I don't know if you can hear me. With the intent of flying into the gas giant's atmosphere. So
what happens?
You're not going to want to follow me.
Giant, the green grass giant creates a lot of frame lagging. I'm typing that into the thing now, but
okay.
Might as well see.
Yeah, for sure. The one that we're in now, or because there's 4 of them, 4 different gas giants.
I don't know. So when I spawned in earlier, I think it was respawned.
Charging.
The green smoke created some odd lag issues. I'm typing it into the thing now, so it just created a lot of lag where nothing else did.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start going into the gas giant's atmosphere here just to close out the stream.
Yeah.
I will look at. I think I'm gonna look at the single player just briefly as kind of a closeout for the stream here. Viewers are all dropping off right now, so that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start hitting atmosphere. There it goes.
Radiant shield integrity.
No! Oh no! You were supposed to keep going. Yep. Let's go. Let's push that engine. Altitude 24 kilometers from what, you ask? Oh, that's interesting. The spinal sticking out. It's not burning. It's made of a different alloy. Let's just call it that. It's not part of the... That's an interesting thing I hadn't thought of. Just take a screenshot for Jan. And we are going to be dropping. Hull damage is increasing. Radiation alert as I get closer and closer and closer to that pressure point. And also burning up in the atmosphere. There we go. Radiation alert. Yeah. Don't fly into the gas giant. You can do the same thing with the sun at the center of the star, I guess, not the sun. The star in the center of the system. You can fly right into it if you want to. It will destroy your ship. You used to be able to actually fly through it with the carrier. I don't know if you still can. You just warp right through at high speed. I don't know if that's gonna... They can land on gas giants. Well, the stations do kind of just hover there, which is an interesting phenomenon on its own. It's definitely a little bit of hand-wavy sci-fi for the sake of cool. Rule of cool, rather than everything having an explanation. Yeah, so that's the stream today. Thanks to everybody that jumped in. I hope our commentary wasn't too scattered, too ADD for you.
It was good.
We covered a lot. We were answering questions as we went. If you want to learn more about the game, check out the Steam page. The game is currently on sale, 30% off on Steam for the summer sale. Yeah, I'm gonna jump over to the main menu. Pop out of the game here. Nope, not multiplayer. 3 servers right now. There's a few people playing if you want to jump in. The training modules received an update. So there's 5 currently. Still working on the last one. It's going to be capital ship weapons. So managing the weapons and building out your custom loadouts for presets. That's something that is a lot to take in. We've thought about doing a carrier dedicated tutorial as well, but it would have to be something pretty simple. just
Mhm.
to cover the essentials. And I think that's it. So I'm just going to jump into the dev chat again there. I'll be right back, guys, after I close out the stream. Yeah. And all of our links for information are in the video description. Link to the latest patch notes on our forums. I'll update it when it posts on Steam. Flavien should have that up there soon. And yeah, we're also streaming on Steam right now on the game page. So if you're dropping in from there and you're watching the stream on Steam, check out the community forums here on Steam, the game forums on Steam. If you have any questions, if you have technical questions, if you run into any bugs, we'll answer on either the Steam forums or on the Discord. And there's invite links everywhere. There's a wonderful invite link directly in game if you already have it. It'll open an external link, direct you to our server. Yeah. I think other than that, we've gone long enough. And I'll see you all the next one. I'll make sure that we get good pings out and fix the Discord server spam issues. Thanks again, and thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time in space. Something like that. Cheers, everyone. Cheers.